Okay. Well, I did want to sing Ashley happy birthday, but I don't know if she's coming. So that would be kind of weird to do that without her here. So we're gonna adjourn. Sorry, we're gonna start the meeting at 7:03 p.m. Do we have any amendments to the agenda? You can either raise your, okay, yes, Gabby.
Yes, I have a few amendments to the agenda. My first amendment is to the appointment section, line items A through N to make them action.
Okay. Uh, okay. Can you phrase that as a motion?
Yes, I motion to amend appointment line items A through N to be action.
Okay, Gabby motions. I need a second, please.
Second.
Gabby motions, Evan seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please do not lower them until I say so. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 12-0 vote, all our appointment line items action are changed to from consent to action items. Are there any more amendments to the agenda? Yes, Gabby.
Yes, I would also like to, let me just get a look here. I would like to motion to amend in new business a letter in support of AB 2212, the Higher Education AI Response Here Survivors Act, to an action item.
Okay, Gabby motions. I need a second.
I second.
Gabby motions, Pranea seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. I think Angela, are you raising your hand, Angela?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
Okay, you're good. Please lower your hands. Okay, all opposed? All abstaining? With the 12-0 vote, that letter is now changed from a consent to an action item. Are there any more amendments to the agenda? Seeing that there are none. Oh, yes, Gabby, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you're good. I have one last amendment to the agenda.
Okay.
I'm gonna motion in block here. I would like to motion
Okay.
to add Ava Beal appointment to the Campus Retention Committee, Brett Baptist to the Community Programs Committee, Jasmine Altmark to the Legislative Assembly, and lastly, Misha Rezehi to the Campus Retention Committee.
Okay, Gabby motions. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, Gabby motions, 7 seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Divine and Angela, I don't know if you're raising your hand or not. Divine. Okay, thank you. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 12-0 vote, those appointments are now added to today's agenda. Are there any more amendments for today to our agenda? Okay, seeing there are none, we are now going to move on to approval of the minutes. I hope everyone had, or approval, sorry, I need a motion for approval of the agenda, my bad, before we approve the minutes. Thank you, Jonathan. Can we approve, I need a motion to approve today's agenda for the July 21st meeting.
I motion to approve the agenda for July 21st, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. Who was that? Was that
Susie?
Susie? Okay, thank you. Gabby motion, Susie seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Okay. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 12-0 vote, the July 21st USAC agenda for 2026 is approved. Now moving on to approval of the minutes. Thank you, Kendall, for doing our minutes for our last meeting, which was July 7th, 2026. I hope everyone took the chance to look at them. If there are no thoughts, I just need, is there any objections? Okay, no objections. Then July 7th, 2026 USAC meeting minutes are approved. Thank you so much. Looks like we don't have funding any funding today. We'll start with our first appointment, which is Marcus. If we can get the timer up for Marcus for his opening statement, starting with his opening statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a second.
Okay, thank you.
Marcus should be approved to be promoted to panelist.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Okay, perfect. Hi, Marcus.
Hello.
Amazing. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can just start speaking and Gabby will start the timer.
Cool. All right, thank you guys for the opportunity to interview today. I'm pretty excited to talk about SVAC. It's an important committee that directly impacts our student experience and financial well-being, which is something I think we all care pretty deeply about. I'm looking forward to potentially bringing my own values into XVAC in the fall, including transparency, accountability, and fairness. And I want to especially ensure that our student fees are used responsibly to support services that genuinely benefit our UCLA community. A huge part of that for me is commitment to listening to diverse student perspectives and making these recommendations. And just for scope, SVAC has made recommendations that have amounted to nearly like $3.2 million of successful and chancellor over the last 2 academic years, and over $1 million of those dollars are permanent funding. To put it bluntly, like SVAC is a really important role, and having somebody who can represent the council's values in the allocation of student resources is pretty critical to your guys' success as well as my own. A little about me. My name's Marcus, pronounce he, him, and my majors are public affairs and African American studies.
Thank you, Marcus. Can we now put up the timer for 15 minutes for Q&A? Just want to be mindful about today and the list of appointments we have, council members, and just being mindful again of not asking any repetitive questions. If you have a question that you feel like was not addressed in the ARC interviews, feel free to raise your hand and ask that question. If you guys don't have any questions, that's more than fine. Just want to be mindful of time today and also mindful of ARCS, who has been doing very extensive interviews. So yeah. But is there any questions for Marcus? Okay, if there's no questions, then we're moving into deliberation. Sorry, we'll do closing statement. Sorry, closing statement. You'll get a 1-minute closing statement. Then we'll do deliberations where we'll ask for the ARC opinion, and then we'll do a final vote. So Gabby, can you please put up the 1-minute timer for closing? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Gabby.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to interview despite the lack of questions. I think we did cover pretty much everything in the ARC interview, which I thought went pretty well. And just want to close by saying, like, I understand next role is to carefully balance responsible stewardship of student fees with the goal of supporting services that like meaningfully improve our student life. And if selected, I'll approach every proposal with an open mind, ask thoughtful questions, and make decisions based on fairness, transparency, and the interests of the UCLA student body as a whole. Thank you for your time and your consideration, and good luck with the other like 80 appointments.
Thank you, Marcus. Now moving on to council deliberations, which we have no longer than 10 minutes. I would like the ARC opinion, please, and thank you.
Yes, absolutely. ARC found while interviewing Marcus that he has an immense passion and commitment for serving the UCLA community through thoughtful funding strategies that support student goals. He already has extensive knowledge about SFAC and the broader financial issues UCLA face in their day-to-day lives, and we believe that his knowledge serves as great qualities to have in a SFAC member. With a vote of 3-0, ARC strongly recommends Marcus to the Student Fee Advisory Committee.
Thank you so much, Ark. Is there any other comments or deliberations before I call for a motion for a final vote? Okay, great. Can I please have a motion for a vote?
Yes, I motion to appoint Marcus Gabby to the Student Fee Advisory Committee for the 2026 to 2028 school year.
Appreciate that, Gabby.
Second.
I couldn't hear who that was.
I second.
Okay, Divine. That was Divine, right? Okay. Gabby, motions, Divine, seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Okay. Amazing, amazing. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All against? With a 12-0 vote, Marcus Gabby is appointed to the SBAC committee for the 2026 to 2028 academic year. Congratulations, Marcus. Have a great rest of your evening.
You.
Awesome. Now moving on to Diana Abdul-Hans for Judicial Board.
I'm gonna promote her right now.
We're about to promote you, Diana. Okay, hi Diana. Whenever you're ready, you can just start talking and Gabby will start the timer.
Okay. Hi, I applied for the judicial board position, and I believe the judicial board committee has a very pivotal role in determining our legislation and, well, not necessarily legislation, but our constitution, our election codes, and any bylaws that may be subject to change depending on the cases that we receive. And I think it is very important that a judicial board is, like, number one, consistent. But I also think that they are perceptive and understanding of people and the perspectives they may bring that cause them to file the petitions they file. And I think as someone who is a part of minority groups, low income, and also like other like differences in just like life experiences, I think I'll be able to offer perspective and also a voice that may not have been previously considered. And yeah, I'm also an incoming senior, and I'm a double major in English and labor studies, as well as a minor in digital humanities.
Thank you, Diana. We'll now move on to your 15-minute Q&A period. Does anyone have any questions for Diana before she does her closing statement and we do deliberations? Okay, cool. You'll now move on. There are no questions for you, Diana, so we'll now move on to your 1-minute closing statement.
Do I need a timer? I'm allowed to begin.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, sorry, Gabby's gonna get your timer ready.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, I really did enjoy my ARC interview, and I think one interesting question that I had was how I would be more active in the event that we don't have cases. And I brought up how last academic year there were a lot of election cases, so I anticipate that we may have some more, I guess, like prominent cases happening, because I think that actually brought exposure to people knowing there's a judicial board. And I am excited to just be able to like propose ideas such as doing newsletters or like like weekly newsletters about bylaws or election codes that people may not be aware of. And I just want to be able to help the transparency when it comes to like our USAC legal procedures and the regular student body, because I feel like legal language is a language that a lot of people aren't as fluid in. So I want to be able to bridge that language barrier gap. And yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Diana. I would like the ARC opinion, please.
Absolutely. Diana's recognition of serving both UCLA's governing documents and the UCLA community makes her a great candidate for the judicial board. She has an intentional passion for serving underrepresented communities and experience in legal advocacy that we believe will empower her to improve J Board. With a vote of 3-0, ARC recommends Diana to the judicial board.
Thank you so much, ARC. Does anyone have any deliberations or anything? I'll start just because I want to emphasize this as a non-voting member. I read through Diana's notes, ARC notes, and she had a really strong interview. And I think it's really important that we have individuals on judicial board who are coming from lived experience that are not common to the judicial board demographic. And I just strongly encourage the voting members of council to vote yes for Diana for judicial board. Does anyone else have any deliberations before I call for a vote? Oh, Paige. Or Paige.
Sorry, this click.
No worries. Okay. Does anyone else have any deliberations before I ask for a final vote? Okay, I'd like a final vote, please.
Yes, I would like to motion to appoint oh my goodness, I really don't want to butcher this name. I would like to motion to appoint Diana Bullhausen to the judicial board for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Gabby motions, can I have a second?
I second.
Gabby motions, Bernina seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Oh, yes, Jonathan? Yes, wait.
Oh, wait.
Gabby said 2026 to 2027.
Is Diana
that-
graduating? If not, then it's a 2-year term.
Oh, is it? Okay, I thought it was
Diana's Diana's graduating.
Yeah,
yeah, incoming 4th year.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we good. Okay. So, yeah, okay, sorry. Continue to raise your hands, guys. Okay, thank you. Please lower your hands. All opposed. Paige, is that a yes or no? Or abstain? Okay.
It was a yes.
Okay. Any opposed or abstaining? Okay. With a 12-0 vote.
Okay. I believe what she was going to say is with a 12-0 vote, Diana is appointed to judicial board for the 2026 to 2027 term. Amazing, she's back. Get 1 second, you guys.
That was terrifying. Okay, congratulations. Diana Bullhausen has been appointed to judicial board for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Diana. Thank you so much. We're now moving on to next appointment for Vanessa for Campus Retention Committee. I can't tell if Vanessa's been promoted yet. Okay, yeah, I see
I
her.
believe she has, yeah.
Okay, I see her. Hi, Vanessa. Okay, whenever Gabby's gonna get your timer ready for opening statement, whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. My name's Vanessa. I'm an incoming 4th year studying public affairs and American Indian Studies. I'm hoping to be on the campus retention committee because last year I was on the student outreach and I learned a lot about how different projects and minority groups work together and within their own communities to help students reach higher education. I also know how important it is once you are in higher education to be able to stay and succeed. And as the president of the American Indian Student Association, I want to make sure that all of our students and all other students have the opportunity to find a sense of belonging and resources for success.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I'm now going to go into our 15-minute Q&A. Does anyone have any questions for Vanessa before I ask for her closing statement? Okay, no questions. Vanessa, we're gonna do your 1 minute closing statement and Gabby's gonna get the timer up for you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, overall, I think retention is just one factor amongst many that helps a lot of different groups, whether it be socioeconomic, cultural, based on gender, or sexuality, thrive. Retention is something that I am familiar with just in my own family having struggles to succeed. And I want to be able to continue to help projects, other students, and internally work towards even better ways of success, and programs to continue to help students. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Vanessa. Can I please have the ARC opinion, please?
Absolutely. Vanessa is already an advocate within her community, as seen through her work with the American Indian Student Association, as well as a previous SIOC member. Beyond her qualifications on paper, she has a great understanding of the need for transparency and resources to support more marginalized communities. With a vote of 3 to 0, ARC strongly recommends Vanessa to the Campus Retention Committee.
Thank you so much, ARC. Does anyone have any deliberations / comments before I call for a final vote for Vanessa? Yes, Evan?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, just looking over Vanessa's qualifications and everything, all her answers, especially given to ARC, I just wanted to say she is an incredible like student and student advocate. And I think that yeah, I would just recommend for the rest of council to, maybe do the right thing here. And yeah, that's all I have to say. But Vanessa is a amazing advocate for students, and I'd like to see the work that she can do in this position.
Thank you, Evan, and I would agree with all the statements about Vanessa. So I also second what Evan is saying. Does anyone have any other comments before I call for a final vote? Okay, I would like a motion for this vote, please.
I would like to motion to appoint Vanessa Harris to the Campus Retention Committee for the academic year 2026 to 2027.
Gabby motions.
Second.
Evan seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 12 to 0 vote, Vanessa Harris is appointed to the Campus Retention Committee for the 2026-2027 year. Thank you, Vanessa. We'll be in touch. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you guys. You too.
Next up is Kennedy Graham, also for Campus Retention Committee. Gabby's getting up the timer for you, Kennedy, for your opening statement. All right, Kennedy, whenever you're ready, you can feel free to start with your opening statement. Gabby will start your timer.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kennedy Graham, and I am a third-year sociology major with a minor in public affairs. I am applying for the Campus Retention Committee because I believe retention is about more than just helping students remain enrolled in school, but it's also about creating a campus environment where students feel a sense of belonging, have access to meaningful resources, and know that they have a community supporting them throughout their time at UCLA. I believe the work of the CRC is important for listening to students from different socioeconomic and ethnic backgrounds and identifying barriers that impact their success. As an out-of-state student and a student from an underrepresented background, I understand what it feels like to navigate a new environment and feel overwhelmed in a huge campus community such as UCLA. So because of that, if selected, I hope to advocate for initiatives that improve access to resources and strengthen connections across campus and create more students to be engaged and supported. Thank you.
Thank you, Kennedy. We'll now move on to 15-minute Q&A. Does anyone have any questions for Kennedy before she goes into her closing statement? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So, Kennedy, you can start your 1-minute closing statement.
Okay.
And once
Thank
Gabby
you.
gets your timer up,
Okay.
you're free to start, Kennedy.
Thank you all for taking the time to speak with me today and for considering my application. If selected, I would like to support programs that help students feel more connected to UCLA and provide them with the resources they need to succeed. Thank you again for the time and consideration. I'd be honored to serve on the CRC and contribute to the important work of supporting student success.
Thank you, Kennedy. Can I please, we're going into deliberations now, so can I please have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. ARC appreciated Kennedy's concern for students not having to navigate their academic journey alone, her empathy for marginalized communities, and commitment to resources being available for all students. She provided a plan for what she intended the CRC to look like and had a vision to support our students in a way we believe students are in desperate need of right now. With a vote of 3 to 0 to 0, ARC recommends Kennedy to the Campus Retention Committee.
Thank you, ARC. Does anyone have any comments or deliberations before I call for a vote?
I just want to come here and comment and say that Kennedy had an incredible interview, very passionate and very proactive about student organizing and aims to help and better further in advanced communities. So I really appreciated her insight and all her responses. And I urge you to vote her yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Susie. Any other comments before we call for a vote? Okay, like a motion, please.
Yes, I motion to appoint Kennedy Graham to the Campus Retention Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Gabby motions. I need a second.
I second.
Second.
Okay, I heard. Yeah, Gabby motions, Maria seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? Angela, are you saying yes or no? Okay, I'm missing. Okay. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 12 to 0 vote, Kennedy Graham is appointed to the Campus Retention Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Thank you, Kennedy. Congratulations and have a great rest of your evening. Now we are moving on to Ava Beal, also for Campus Retention Committee. Gabby should be promoting you right now.
She should be promoted.
Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. Whenever you're ready, Ava, you can start with your opening statement. You have 1 minute.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. My name is Ava Bell. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an incoming second-year traditional student, and I'm a public affairs and sociology double major. I'm applying to be a part of the Campus Retention Committee, and with an ultimate career goal of nonprofit or community work, I am dedicated to helping uplift those around me and doing everything possible to make their lives better. Supporting student retention is very important to me because it is so often that simply reaching higher education is focused on while actually staying there is ignored. I hope to be a part of the CRC to contribute to uplifting student retention and showing students that they matter and have the resources they need to reach their degrees. As Samahan Filipino's retention coordinator, I am deeply committed to supporting every student, regardless of their background, experiences, or the challenges that they face. And I hope to be a part of the CRC to advocate for the needs of every student and push for transparency, communication, and continuous support, as well as foster a sense of belonging and community for all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ava. We're now going to be moving on to 15-minute Q&A. If anyone has any questions, does anyone have any questions for Ava before I ask for a closing statement? Okay, no worries. Does Ava, you're now more than welcome to start your closing statement, which is also you have 1 minute. And Gabby's gonna set the timer up already. If she okay, she already has a timer, so feel free to start whenever.
I believe that the CRC is very important to the students of UCLA, and the work that it does is very necessary to the various retention programs that are a part of our school and our campus. And so I believe that I can be a great addition to this committee in order to support those students and ensure that they have all of the proper resources that they need to reach their degrees. I think that I have a lot of experience and I have a lot of different perspectives that can help me in this role. I come from a background where I have personally faced many different challenges that have impacted my education, my educational journey. I've seen the many different things that us as students face every day as we just try and make it through these 4 years, possibly more. And so I am very excited to potentially be a part of this group and see the impact that this committee can have. So I really thank you guys for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ava. So I would now go into deliberations. Can I please have the ARC statement?
Yes, absolutely. Ava heavily emphasized equity when explaining what the Campus Retention Committee's role is, which ARC found very strong. Her lived experiences will empower her to become a great member of the Campus Retention Committee, and her understanding of the key issues that face our students will be extremely important when it comes to serving the students. With a vote of 3-0, ARC strongly recommends Ava to the Campus Retention Committee.
Thank you, Gabby, and thank you, ARC. Does anyone have any other comments or deliberations before I call for a vote? Okay, if none, then I would like a vote, please.
I would like to motion to appoint Ava Bell to the Campus Retention Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Thank you, Gabby. Gabby motions. I need a second.
Second.
Gabby motions. Evan seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With a 12-0 vote, Ava Bell is appointed to the Campus Retention Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Ava. Have a great evening. Now moving on to Brett Baptist for Campus Programs Committee. We're changing committees now. For now. Okay, I see. Okay, I see Brett. Whenever you're ready, Brett, you can start with your. Wait, where'd Brett go? Okay, I see it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yes. Whenever you're ready, you can
Awesome.
start with your 1 minute opening statement.
Okay, good evening. My name is Brett Baptist. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a second-year transfer student. I am an MCDB major. I'm really excited about the opportunity to serve on the Campus Programs Committee once again. I spent the past few years deeply involved in student leadership, first as a senator and then the director of political development in Modesto Junior College, where I worked on everything from advocating for fair funding allocations for clubs to securing accessible transportation between campuses. Now at UCLA, I served the TSR office as the co-director of Transfer Wellness, where I planned events to support and connect transfer students. I also served as a CPC appointee last year, where I helped to advocate for more balanced and diversified funding allocations. I see CPC as a way to promote and lead a lasting positive impact on student-led organizations by managing budgets fairly, as well as keeping CPC accountable for being transparent. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. We'll now move into our Q&A period. Does anyone have any questions before Brett goes into his closing statement? Okay, if no questions, then Brett, you have 1 minute for your closing statement. I think, yeah, Gabby already has your timer set up, so whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. So thank you for the opportunity for interviewing me and letting me introduce myself. I believe that having a transfer voice inside the committee would further diversify it, as well as making it more equitable decisions regarding funding distributions for student organizations and their programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will now be moving on to deliberations. Can I please have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
Okay. Brett's commitment to his own education on finance as it relates to USAC displays an unwavering commitment to supporting students and their financial endeavors. With a 3-0 vote, ARC strongly recommends Brett Baptist to the Campus Programs Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Thank you, ARC. Does anyone have other comments before I call for a motion for a vote? Yes, Renea?
Very quickly, because I know we're short on time. I
You're
just
fine.
want to corroborate. I really like what Brett brought up about having a really diverse perspective as a transfer student. And I also just want to stand in support of that. I do think it's really important that we have voices that aren't historically very represented on that committee, be in that committee. So I'll be voting yes.
Absolutely agree. Thank you, Renea. Does anyone have any other comments? All right, I'd like a motion to a final vote, please.
Absolutely. I motion to appoint Brett Baptist to the Campus Programs Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Gabby motions. Can I have a second?
I second.
Gabby motions, Renea seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 12-0 vote, Brett Baptist is approved to the Campus Programs Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Brett, and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. You too.
Now moving on to Sarah Tucios for Community Activities Committee. Gabby is going to promote you, and then you can have your opening statement.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sarah.
I hope you guys
When-
are having a good evening.
I hope you as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Whenever you're ready, you can get started with your 1-minute opening statement.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to be part of this panel and choosing me to have the opportunity to interview for this. A little bit about myself. I used to be the president of the Student Parent Connection Club at Rio Hondo College, part of the ICC club as well. We would serve and help out the committee for all the clubs on campus to make decisions and allocate funds transparently and evenly to everybody, so everybody's equally. I do go by I identify as she, her, ella as well. A little bit more about myself. I am a soon coming transfer student to UCLA, so this would be my first year on campus. I do believe in making everybody feel included in the system, just because I know that a lot of the events sometimes we might feel unincluded. So I like to include everybody in. I do give a lot of information when it comes down to it. That's pretty much what I bring over to the table. I have a lot of insight in different departments, and I like to help out students.
Thank you, Sarah, for your opening statement. We'll now move on to our Q&A period. If any council members do have any questions, does anyone have any questions for Sarah? If not, Sarah will move into her closing statement. Okay, it does not look like there are any questions on my end. So Sarah, you can go into your 1-minute closing statement. Gabby's going to set up your timer. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you so much again for letting me be part of this. I believe in leadership and listening and showing up and turning ideas into actions. My experience as a student leader, advocate, parent, and a transfer student is to prepare and contribute meaningful events for the community and activities. If selected, I would work hard to ensure that every student has an opportunity to build a connection, celebrate our diverse community, and create lasting memories during their time at UCLA as well. And once again, thank you so much for considering me. And I would be honored to be able to serve at UCLA's student body with the Communities and Activities Committee.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Sarah, for your closing statement. We'll now move on to deliberations. I would like the ARC statement.
Absolutely. Sarah displayed an unwavering commitment to bringing communities together through thoughtful events and has a passion for serving the communities she's a part of. She is the exemplification of a driven, dedicated, and collaborative individual who has many ideas to improve student life on campus. With a vote of 3-0, ARC strongly recommends Sarah to the Campus Activities Committee.
Thank you, ARC. Does anyone have any comments they would like to make before I ask for a motion for a vote? Seeing as there are none, can I please have a motion for final vote for this appointment?
Yes, I motion to appoint Sarah Tercios to the Community Activities Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Gabby motions, can I have a second?
Second.
Gabby motions, Evan seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 11-0 vote, Sarah Tricios is appointed to the Community Activities Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Sarah. We'll be in touch.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great evening. We are now moving on to Adele with Community Activities Committee. Okay, they've been appointed. Beautiful. Welcome, Adele. Gabby has your timer set up for your 1-minute statement whenever you're ready.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and thank you all for taking the time to interview me today. My name is Adele Abdulrahman, and I am a political science major. I am minoring in public affairs. I did want to talk about my academic journey. I've been committed to leadership, student advocacy, and community engagement through the Academic Affairs Commission, the Lebanese Student Association, the Fostering Connections, and my previous student government experience at Norfolk College. I'm a first-generation transfer student. I did want to make that more prominently known. I know that there are a lot of resources that UCLA, not a lot of students are able to get. I know CAC is well renowned for its funding, especially the referendums that it does give out. I am excited about the opportunity to serve at the Community Activities Committee because I believe supporting students' organizations is one of the best ways to strengthen campus life and encourage meaningful engagement throughout UCLA. Without any of these organizations, we probably wouldn't have these lived experiences that we all know and favor. But yeah, that's my opening statement for now.
Thank you so much. We'll now move into your 15 Q&A period if there are any questions from council. Does council have any? Yes, Angela, looks like Angela has a question. Or Angela, do you have a question? Or is that a?
No, so sorry. My stuff is glitching.
No worries. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Adele before I ask him for his 1-minute closing statement? All right, Adele, Gabby, I think already has your timer set up for 1-minute closing statement whenever you're ready.
Perfect. It was a pleasure meeting all of you guys, and thank you so much for listening into my opening statement. I do want to thank you again for your time and consideration. I do believe my leadership experience and background in public affairs, as well as public policy and commitment to serving students, have prepared me to make the thoughtful and equitable funding decisions. As selected, I approach every proposal with fairness, transparency, and an open mind while recognizing the unique value that both established emerging organizations can bring forth to our campus. I also did want to prominently make this known. I am involved highly on campus. I know it's going to be very interesting serving at the Communities Activities Committee, having two perspectives, one internal and one external. But yeah, that's what I bring to my table. And I know you guys probably looked over my application. It does speak volume as well as the ARC interview, which I'm very thankful for. But yeah, this is my closing statement.
Thank you, Adele. Now moving on to council deliberations. Can I have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Adele's experience in many spheres of UCLA student organizations, coupled with his focus on community equity and outreach, makes him a great fit for the Community Activities Committee. We hope this position will allow him to serve the UCLA community while emphasizing transparency through impactful data to make our system better. With a vote of 3-0, ARC recommends Adele to the Campus Activities Committee.
Thank you, Art. Does anyone else have any other council members have any thoughts or comments before I ask for a final motion for this? Yes, Renea.
Very quickly, I really like the amount of experience he has with like student organizations on campus. I was president of an organization last year where we received like most of our funding from CAC, like the full 10K. So I do think it's really important to have that kind of experience, and I do think it would be an asset. So I'll be voting yes.
Thank you, Renea. Any other comments or questions? All right, I would like a final vote for this appointment.
Yes, I motion to appoint Adele Abdulrahman to the Community Activities Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Thank you, Gabby. Can I have a second?
I second. Susie seconds.
Gabby motions, Susie seconds. Thank you, Susie. All in favor, please raise your hand. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With a 12-0 vote, Adele Abdul-Rahman is appointed to the Community Activities Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Adele. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll be in touch. Oh, they left real quick. Okay. Okay, now moving on to Alana Lang for SIOC, our Student Initiated Outreach Committee. That's our first one for this committee today. Hello, Alana.
Hi.
Okay, whenever you're ready, Gabby has your timer set up for your 1 minute opening statement.
Thank you, Council, for giving me the space to speak in front of you all. I hope you have all been able to enjoy your summer break and have been enjoying your day today. My name is Alana Langi. I'm a rising third year studying neuroscience, and I'm applying to be on the Student Initiated Outreach Committee, or the SIOC for short. I've worked closely with one of the projects housed under the committee previously, Pathways to Inspire, Educate, and Retain, or PEER for short. And this experience, I was able to gain a firsthand understanding of the vital role committees like the SIOC play in providing foundational support for student-led initiatives that carry meaningful outreach to support the educationally disadvantaged, as I once was. Being a daughter of immigrants who grew up in a lower income household and marginally low representation within higher academia spaces with individuals whom I could identify with, I also faced financial and economic barriers within my journey towards higher education. Thus, I am dedicated to helping programs like the SIOC to further opportunities into higher education for those around me.
Thank you so much, Alana, for your opening statement. We'll now move on to Q&A if council has any questions. Does council have any questions? Seeing there are none, Gabby will set up your timer if it isn't already for your 1 minute closing statement. Whenever you're ready, Alana, for your closing statement.
Thank you again, Council, for taking this time to consider me as an applicant. Ultimately, the work of the SIOC is more than just funding student organizations. It really invests in students who are creating meaningful change within their communities. So I would be extremely grateful for the opportunity to contribute to that mission by supporting other student initiatives that empower their communities, just as it has done for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alana. Now moving on to deliberations. Can I please have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Alana's knowledge of the impact of funding bodies and how they impact vulnerable communities makes her a great candidate for this role. Through her interview, ARC found her dedicated to student investment and committed to funding our student orgs in a thoughtful way to uplift student voices. With a vote of 3-0, ARC strongly recommends Alana to the Student Initiated Outreach Committee.
Thank you, ARC. Are there any other comments before I call for a final vote from council? Okay, seeing that there are none, can I please have a motion for a final vote for this appointment, please?
Absolutely. I motion to appoint Alana Longy to the Student Initiated Outreach Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
I second that. Susie seconds.
Gabby motion, Susie seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With a 11-0 vote, Alana Lange is appointed to the SIOC committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Alana.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your evening. Okay, now moving on. Karia Chu for CS Mini Fund chair. Member. Or no, just member? Yes. Okay. More moving on. Okay, Carly Chu is being interviewed for CS Mini. Just member, not chair. Okay. Whenever you're ready, you can start with your opening statement, Claudia.
Okay, perfect. Thank you all for having me and taking time of your day to listen to me. My name is Carlia Chu. I go by she, her pronouns, and I am currently going into my third year studying business economics. And I'm hoping to be appointed to the CS Mini Fund today. I would like this position as I'm a really big advocate for community service. It's something that I'm very passionate about. And I know that the CS Mini plays a really big role in supporting so many organizations at UCLA who do community service programs. And so I would like to be part of the team that works to help allocate the CS Mini and ensure that all these programs' needs and goals are being met. And also to ensure allocations are going to the right purposes, which the fund is meant for. I believe that I would be a good fit for this role as I am very familiar with USAC and their funding process. Most recently, last year, I was Director of Finance for TSR, and so through that role, I learned a lot about funding and budgeting, tracking, and making sure all our directors' funding needs were met. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Carlia. We'll now move on to Q&A. If any council members have any questions before I ask for her closing statement. Seeing that there are none, Carlia, you're now ready to start your 1-minute closing statement. Gabby has the timer set up for you.
For sure. Thank you all for your consideration. Again, I would be very interested in being an appointment because I know what it's like to try and fight for funding. And so I totally understand all the concerns that student programs might have. My main goal for this would be to allocate as fairly as possible and really stick to the guidelines and mission of the CS Mini, really making sure allocations are going to the right places and to try and support as many groups with their community service goals as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now moving on to deliberations, can I please have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Carlia's emphasis on funds being used correctly while being grounded in community building makes her a great fit to carry out CS Mini's mission of supporting the community. She also added in her interview her commitment to working with others while being fair in their funding decisions. With a vote of 3-0, ARC recommends Carlia to the CS Mini Fund.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? Or sorry, not questions. Comments. My bad. Comments. Yes, Maya.
Carlia has a wealth of experience both on finance and in USAC. We're very excited to have her in CSC, and I will be voting yes and strongly encourage everyone else to do the same.
Thank you, Maya. Does anyone else have any comments before a final vote is called? Okay, right. All right. I'd like a final motion. And for the motion, whoever does this, make sure to include that they're a CS Mini Fund member.
Absolutely. I motion to appoint Carlia Chu to the Community Service Mini Fund member position for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Second.
Gabby motions, Divine seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With a 13-0 vote, Carlia Chu is appointed as a CS Committee Fund member for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Carlia. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, now moving on to Janelle Bonaria for Student Initiated Outreach Committee. Janelle, whenever you are ready, you are open to start your 1-minute opening statement.
Hi, thank you for having me here today. My name is Janelle Benaria. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm an incoming second-year traditional student and currently double majoring in environmental studies and public affairs. I'm interested in an appointment to the Student Initiated Outreach Center because this past year I was given the opportunity to gain insight into how an Access project functions and operates. This Access project was among Filipino advancing community engagement. I've seen how crucial funding is for a project to be able to appropriately serve minority students and help them reach their post-secondary goals, also to help the organization function as a whole. Through this role, I've gained insight into how funding from the SIOC to Access projects helps them to serve students and sustain their programming. Experiencing that impact from within an Access project has given me a deeper appreciation for the responsibility of allocating resources equitably across projects that support access to education and would serve me well in my role to the Student Initiated Outreach Center. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we'll now be moving on to Q&A period if anyone has any questions. Does anyone have any questions for Janelle before I ask for her closing statement? All right, if no questions, Janelle, you can start with your 1-minute closing statement.
To close, I believe what makes me a great candidate to serve on the Student Initiated Outreach Center and sets me apart is my experience and knowledge of the operations of an Access project, but also my background. Growing up, it wasn't hard for me to navigate my post-secondary educational goals and how to reach them because of my mom, who works directly with admissions at a university and studied students reaching higher education. This led to my mom being able to provide me with countless number of resources and knowledge to help me reach higher education. However, during my college application process, I realized that this wasn't the case for many others among my school. Many didn't know what resources to access or what could help them with their college application process. This experience showed me how I want to be able to help students and give them the knowledge that I had access to in order to help them reach their higher education, because I know how important and crucial this knowledge was to my application process. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much. Now moving on to deliberations. Can I please have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Janelle displayed a great understanding of funding bodies in general, but what made her stand out was a combination of her passion for serving the community, equity, communication, and transparency. She was the only applicant who actually referenced the mission of SIOC and emphasized giving financial support to a variety of orgs to reach more students. With a vote of 3-0, ARC strongly recommends Janelle to the Student Initiated Outreach Committee.
Thank you so much, ARC. Does anyone have any comments before I call for a final vote for this appointment? Seeing none, I'm calling for a final vote for this appointment.
Yes, I would like to appoint Janelle Benaria to the Student Initiated Outreach Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Thank you, Gabby, for motioning. Can I have a second?
I second.
Gabby motions, Pranaya seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Please lower your hands. All opposed? Susie, are you opposing or are you saying yes? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes. All opposed? All abstaining? With a 13-0 vote, Janelle Benaria is appointed to the Student Initiated Outreach Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Janelle. Now moving on to Bella Hawkinson for Student Initiative Outreach Committee. Bella, hi Bella. Whenever you are ready, Gabby has a timer set up for you for your opening statement.
Hi, my name is Bella. I'm a third year going into my last year at UCLA studying in international development studies and American Indian studies. And this upcoming year, I'll be serving as an RA for the AIPI LLC, which is the American Indian Pacific Islander Living Learning Community, for my second year, and also be the vice president of the American Indian Student Association. And through those roles, I've been able to build community, support students, and learn the importance of creating spaces where people feel heard and included. And I'm also passionate about making a difference in underserved communities at UCLA, which is why I'm excited about the opportunity to serve on this committee. And I hope to bring my experiences, listen to student needs, advocate for Native students, and help create meaningful outreach efforts that strengthen our community and help students feel supported throughout their time at UCLA.
Thank you so much, Bella. And now moving into Q&A period, does council have any questions? Yes, Korea?
Yeah, I just wanted to know a little bit more about how you plan on ensuring there's equity within funding when it comes to like historically underrepresented communities.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience trying to get funding for ASA as well as the AIPI LLC. We had an issue funding for our When Two Worlds Collide event. So I think just making sure to represent yourself well and just like getting all those sources connected, I think is a good way.
Thank you for your response, Bella. Is there any other questions? Okay, now we'll move to Bella's closing statement. Bella, you have, Gabby has your timer up for 1 minute closing.
Thank you for your time to meet with me today and consider my application. I'd be honored to serve on the outreach committee because I believe meaningful outreach starts with listening, building relationships, and making sure students feel supported and connected. And throughout my experiences with the AIP LLC, ASA, I've seen how strong communities can positively impact students' experiences. And if selected, I hope to bring that same dedication by advocating for student needs, collaborating with others, and also helping create opportunities that allow our communities to thrive. And thank you again for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Bella. Now I would going into deliberations. Can I have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Bella's eagerness to bridge the gap between organizations and admin, as well as increasing awareness of resources available to students, was great. She's already an involved member of the UCLA community and intends to use her prior experience to empower her in this role. However, ARC noted a lack of consideration for funding specific issues and more of a focus on residence-related events rather than the scope of SIOC. Nonetheless, with a vote of 2-1 to 0, ARC recommends Bella for the Student-Initiated Outreach Committee.
Thank you so much, ARC. Does anyone have any comments before I call for a final vote? Okay, seeing as there none, I'd like a motion for a final vote for this appointment.
Absolutely. I motion to appoint Isabella Hawkinson to the Student-Initiated Outreach Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Gabby motions, can I have a second?
Second.
Gabby motions, Divine seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Okay, please lower your hands. All opposed? Okay. Divine, was that yes or no?
No.
Okay. All abstaining? Okay, oh, excuse me, with 11 to 1 to 0. Bella Hunkinson is approved for the Student Initiated Outreach Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Bella.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bella. Now moving on to Jayla Ward for Student Initiated Outreach Committee. Hello, Jayla. Whenever you're ready, feel free to start. Gabby has your timer ready for your 1-minute opening statement.
Okay, great. Hello everyone. It's so nice to meet you and to have this opportunity of consideration. My name is Jayla Ward. I go by she, her, and I'm going into my second year at UCLA as a political science major. I'm applying to be a member of the undergraduate Student Initiated Outreach Committee. I'm a part of ASU as their SHAPE project director and AEP as their project outreach and volunteer recruitment director, as well as another education-centered program called OASIS. I believe I will be able to contribute greatly to the SIOC by providing a novel perspective on how to create a community on and off of our campus through accountability on all levels. This goes into the use of the funds by the orgs and the fairness of the administration providing the funds. I'm dedicated to helping people in any way possible, and I prioritize making them feel heard. If there's anything I hope to do while in this committee, it's to make the voices I represent have a voice and be represented to the fullest extent. On top of this, I believe that the other members of this committee will share the same sentiment and want the same for those that they represent, which will allow us to come together and be a shared force of change for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayla, for your opening statement. We'll now move on to Q&A. If council has any questions, do any council members have any questions for Jayla? Seeing as there are none, Jayla, you'll now do your 1-minute closing statement.
I would just like to say after my ARC interview, I have gone on to do further research about the SIOC to feel more comfortable in my own knowledge about this committee as someone who is also new to the college scene and had no guidance when it came to figuring it out. Additionally, in light of being transparent, I would like to acknowledge the dormant nature of SHAPE in the recent years and its inability to carry out its listed and expected projects to assist the LA student population and its inability to convene as a whole. I'm determined to completely change this with the help of other ASU members and my co-director, Jasmine Allen. We have already drafted a budget proposal, among other things, with our Title I school sites at this time. I want to make sure that the orgs I'm currently and will be a part of are represented as much as possible, especially in the collegiate space like UCLA. And more importantly, that the students we intend to serve at these schools sites see their future in higher education is possible, and they can find support through Black Bruins on UCLA's campus. And this all begins with proper and sound funding and discussion through other organizations on campus and the support of the SIOC to every org. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Jayla. And thank you for your closing statement. Now, we can go into council deliberations. Can I have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Jayla's dedication to representation and retention heavily aligns with the mission and goals of SIOC. She provided specific ideas for budgeting strategies to SIOC and commitment to following through on promises the committee makes through transparency. We hope that exposure to SIOC will make her a more effective student leader. With a vote of 3 to 0 to 0, ARC recommends Jayla for the Student Initiated Outreach Committee.
ARC, does council, oh yes, Evan.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Jayla has shown to be a great student leader, and I just wanted to communicate to the rest of the council that I am very confident in her leadership and what she can do in this position. So I just want to urge my fellow council to vote yes.
I 100% agree. I've seen Jayla in action. She's amazing. I have full confidence if she was ever appointed, even though I'm a non-voting member. Any other comments? All right, I look for a motion for this appointment or final vote.
Yes. I motion to appoint Jayla Ward to the Student Initiated Outreach Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Gabby motions. Gabby motions. Cecilia seconds. All in favor? Cecilia seconded that, correct?
Oh.
Was that Cecilia who did that?
I saw it. Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, just checking. Okay, Gabby motion, Cecilia second. I just wanted to be clarified for the minutes. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 13-0 vote, Jayla Ward is appointed to the Student Initiated Outreach Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Jayla. We'll be in touch. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Next up is Roma for Student Health Advisory Committee. We are almost there. We only have 4 more after this. Thank you, Council, for being so efficient. And thank you, Gabby, for doing 5 things at the same time. Okay, just saying, is Roma on? Okay, Roma, I
Yes,
see
I'm
her.
here.
Okay,
Okay.
amazing. Whenever you're ready, Gabby has the timer set up for your 1-minute opening statement.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Roma. I'm a third-year student double majoring in public affairs and microbiology, immunology, and molecular genetics, and I'm seeking an appointment to the Student Health Advisory Committee. My commitment to strengthening the student care services offered through Arthur Ashe Student Health and Wellness Center, CAPS, and the USAC oversight bodies is personal. As someone with a complex medical history, I'm no stranger to a fragmented healthcare system. From providers who weren't equipped to understand the complexity of my care to barriers that made coordinating treatment unnecessarily difficult. And rather than accepting these gaps, I've sought to understand how policy, institutional decision-making, and systemic inequities shape patient experiences. That perspective motivates me to be an agent of change at UCLA. And through my involvement with advocating intersectional medicine and EVP civic engagement team, I've learned that meaningful student-centered reform begins by listening to students and translating their experiences into actionable events.
Thank you so much, Roma. Now going into council questions. Is there any questions council has for Roma? Seeing there are none, Roma will now go into your 1-minute closing statement.
Thank you so much, Council, for taking the time to speak with me today. As a member of SHAC, I will advocate to relentlessly turn student feedback into tangible change, from addressing gaps in weekend care and developing a comprehensive student health resource database, to strengthening outreach so students know what services already exist and how to access them. My goal is to help build a healthcare system that is more accessible, transparent, and responsive to the diverse needs of everyone. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Roma. Now I would like to have the ARC statement when we're starting our deliberations.
Absolutely. Roma's knowledge of various healthcare services to students was extremely impressive, as well as her understanding of the need to promote visibility to these resources to our vulnerable populations. She very much understood not only the need, but how to address these issues. With a vote of 3-0, ARC strongly recommends Roma to the Student Health Advisory Committee.
Thank you so much, ARC. Does anyone have any comments for ask for a final? Yes, Divine.
Yeah, I'm also just very impressed. Roma's very like educated and gave a lot of great ideas. So I strongly encourage everyone to vote yes.
I would agree with that. Roma has been very proactive in connecting with me in regard to this appointment, and I think should be a very active member. All right, any other comments? All right, I would like a motion for a final vote for this appointment.
I motion to appoint Roma Patel to the Student Health Advisory Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Gabby motions, can I have a second?
I second.
Gabby motion, Susie seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? Wait, Jonathan, is this a 2-year term? Or no, 1-year term? SBAC's 2 years term, right? Not SHAC. It's 1-year term? Okay, 1 year term. Okay, just want to clarify. Sorry, I was blinking out. Okay, with the 13-0 vote, Roma Patel is appointed to the Student Health Advisory Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Roma. We'll be in touch. Thank you. Have a great evening. All right, 14 down, 4 more to go. We're now moving on with Betty Chang for TGIF.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Betty. So we have the timer set up for 1 minute opening statement whenever you're ready.
Awesome, thanks, guys. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Betty Chang. I use she, her pronouns. I will be a rising junior in the fall studying applied math as well as history, and I would love to serve as a member on TGIF. I believe that my background in sustainability, serving on the campus sustainability committee last year, as well as being a staffer for Environmental Justice Now, which is a subcommittee of the Facilities Commission, as well as being on exec board for the Facilities Commission and serving as their external assistant commissioner this year, I think properly preps me for this position as like the intersection between sustainability on campus as well as working with USAC. Not only that, I interned at a sustainability nonprofit called the Go Green Initiative, which focuses on sustainability in K-12 public schools, helping me to gain a more nuanced perspective on what it means to be sustainable these days.
Thank you so much, Betty. We'll now moving on to Q&A. Do any council members have any questions for Betty? Okay, seeing none, Betty will now go into your 1 minute closing statement whenever you're ready.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I would love to be a part of TGIF. I think there's a lot of work in the sustainability community that needs to be done, as well as just promoting general awareness of this issue and helping bridge that financial gap between sustainability and our student population. And I would love to increase transparency within TGIF, ensuring that all of UCLA is able to access these funds and understand where TGIF is coming from and helping to meet those sustainability goals that UCLA has. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Betty. Now going on to deliberations, can I have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Betty's extensive knowledge about TGIF, dedication to addressing funding concerns, and understanding of TGIF's role within USAC makes her a great applicant for this role. More than that, she has a broader understanding of the need for funding bodies to serve the students and has a vision for TGIF to improve that mission. With a vote of 3-0, ARC recommends Betty to the Green Initiative Fund.
Thank you so much, ARC. Does anyone have any other comments or statements? Yes, Paige.
I just want to say that I think Betty is going to be an incredible member of the TJF. She's someone who's clearly very involved in sustainability, but she's also incredibly passionate in helping students on campus in a bunch of different ways. And since I won't be serving on TJF, I'm handing it off to her to make sure that the fund is operating in a way that is effective and serves the students in the best way possible. So highly recommend.
Thank you so much, Paige. Any other comments or thoughts? All right, I'd like a motion for a final vote.
Absolutely. I motion to appoint Betty Chang to the Green Initiative Fund for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Thank you, Gabby. Can I have a second?
A second.
Gabby motion, Paige seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All opposed, one more time. All abstaining? With a 13-0 vote, Betty Chang is appointed to the Green Initiative Fund for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Betty. Have a great evening.
Thank you, you too.
Awesome. 3 more to go. We now have Jake Smith for Faculty Executive Committee. Okay, I see Jake's already been promoted. Jake, whenever you're ready, Abby has your timer set up for your 1 minute opening statement.
Yes. Hang on. Cool. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Cool. Well, I'm ready. So, hi, I'm Jake Smith. I will be a senior at UCLA this year, and I appreciate the opportunity to be reappointed to the faculty executive committee as the undergraduate student representative. I'm a transfer student at UCLA. Before UCLA, I went to El Camino College for 2 years, where I was involved in campus committees there, as well as student government, our interclub council, student clubs, all kinds of organizations on campus. And then after transferring to UCLA last year, I served in the transfer student representative's office. I was a member of Bruin Policy Institute, and I also served on the faculty executive committee, where I advocated for all students, but especially transfer students, through my passion project. And I would really appreciate the opportunity to continue the work I had started doing and continue building the relationships I had made with faculty on the committee this year and advocating for all students on campus and especially transfer students and making sure that programs and academic programs are accessible to them.
Thank you so much, Jake, for your opening statement. I'll now move on to Q&A. If council members have any questions, do any council members have any questions for Jake before we move on to his closing statement? Okay, seeing none, Jake will now start with your 1 minute closing statement. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to ARC for interviewing me, and thank you to you guys for interviewing me as well. I would love the opportunity to continue my work on the FEC. I had a great time doing it last year and made a lot of great work advocating for students at UCLA through feedback on academic programs, resolutions, policy changes, talking to campus administrators. I also made a lot of great relationships with faculty on the committee as well. So I'd really appreciate the opportunity to continue the work I've already been doing on the committee this upcoming year.
Thank you, Jake, for your closing statement. Now moving on to deliberations. Can I have the ARC statement?
Absolutely. Jake's institutional knowledge, commitment to being understanding of students' range of perspectives, and proactiveness to ensure students' needs are met makes him an ideal candidate for the Faculty Executive Committee. His past work in FEC and earnest passion to do more for the community is admirable and ultimately makes him a strong applicant. With a vote of 3 to 0, ARC recommends Jake to the Faculty Executive Committee.
Thank you so much for the ARC statement. Thank you, ARC. Does council have any comments before I call for final vote for this motion, for this appointment? All right, can I have a final vote for this appointment?
Absolutely. Oh,
wait, Maya, you have a comment? Sorry.
Wait, sorry. No, you're good.
Oh, do you have a comment or no?
No comments, sorry.
Okay, gotcha. All right, can I have a motion for a final vote?
Yes, I motion to appoint Jake Smith to the Faculty Executive Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Gabby motions. Gabby motions, Maya seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 13 to 0 vote, Jake Smith is appointed to the Faculty Executive Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Jake. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thanks, you as well.
Now moving on to Jasmine Altmark for the Legislative Assembly. Let me know when she's been promoted. Okay, I see her now. Hello, Jasmine. Gabby's getting your timer ready whenever you're ready to start for your opening statement.
Hello.
Hello, we're ready whenever for your opening statement.
Awesome, perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jasmine Altsmark, and I'm a transfer student majoring in political science. This past year, I served as a Needs and Accessibility Director in the Transfer Student Representative Office. And through that position, I learned how policies involving accessibility, enrollment, and academic resources directly affect students. That experience made me interested in going beyond helping students navigate individual problems and looking at how the policies behind those problems could be improved. If selected to represent for the Legislative Assembly, I would listen to students, work with the relevant campus offices, review available data, and help develop thoughtful policy recommendations with faculty and other student representatives. I'm especially interested in academic accessibility and making sure policy decisions are informed by the students who are directly affected.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for your opening statement. Now moving on to council Q&A. If any council members have any questions, feel free to speak now. Okay, seeing as there are none, Jasmine, you'll start with your 1-minute closing statement now.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to speak with me and for all the other panelists. I know it's been quite a long time, but I'm sure that we all appreciate you guys, being patient and listening to all of us. My experience as a transfer student and as a needs and accessibility director has shown me how strongly academic policies can affect students' ability to succeed. If selected, I would bring more than a general desire to advocate. I would bring a specific process of listening to affecting students, understanding the current policy, meeting with the responsible offices, and collecting evidence, and working collaboratively to develop realistic recommendations. I'm especially interested in exploring academic accessibility and enrollment, but I am also prepared to listen to the priorities of students and the assembly identifications. I would be committed to representing students thoughtfully and following through on the work required to turn their concerns into meaningful policy discussions.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for your closing statement. We'll now move on to deliberations. I'd like the ARC statement.
Absolutely. ARC found that Jasmine's emphasis on CAE-centered advocacy and eagerness to creating academic policy based in accessibility and discussions was a strong point of her application. With a vote of 3 to 0, ARC recommends Jasmine to the Legislative Assembly.
Thank you, ARC. Any other comments before I call for a final vote? Okay, I do not see any. Seeing none, I'd like a final vote call, please.
Absolutely. I motion to appoint Jasmine Altmark to the Legislative Assembly for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Gabby motions, can I have a second? Oh, Gabby motion, Ashley seconds. Perfect. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With a 13 to 0 vote, Jasmine Altmark is appointed to the Legislative Assembly for 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Jasmine. Have a great
Thank
evening.
you so much, everyone.
Okay, guys, on our last appointment, for Misha Rizigi for Campus Retention Committee.
Hello, my name is Nisha Zeki. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm an incoming transfer student majoring in political science on the pre-law track. Today, I'm seeking an appointment to the Campus Retention Committee. I've spent 3 years working in DSPS, which stands for Disabled Students Programs and Services at my community college. Some of my experiences in leadership include Associated Student Government. I served as Senator at Large representing students with disabilities, and I also served as the president for the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, all at Saddleback College. Outside of school, I'm an educator. I'm a counselor and tutor helping international students navigate the American education system. What I hope to contribute to CRC is improving access to campus resources, connecting students with the right support they need, advocating for underserved students by helping strengthen their sense of belonging and community. I want to help improve student retention for graduation by evaluating whether current retention initiatives are meeting students' needs, increasing transparency and awareness among existing programs, et cetera.
Thank you so much, Misha, for your energetic opening statement. We appreciate that as we're having a long meeting right now. I'm now going to start to move into council deliberations. I'm sorry, not council deliberations. Council Q&A period. Does council have any question for Misha? Okay. I do not have questions. I had a great extensive ARC interview. Thank you, ARC, for doing that. Misha, we're now going to start with your 1-minute closing statement then.
Yeah, thank you all for your time and your opportunity to speak the opportunity to speak with you all today. I've seen firsthand how the right support systems can completely change a student's college experience. I've also seen that even the best programs can only make an impact if they're accessible, well supported, and responsive to students' needs. If appointed, I will bring a collaborative mindset and a commitment to making decisions that ensure students' voices remain at the center of every discussion. My goal is to help strengthen the programs that make meaningful differences in students' lives. Thank you again for your consideration. It would be an honor to serve on the Campus Retention Committee and contribute to making UCLA a place where every student has the opportunity to succeed.
Thank you, Misha, for your closing statement. I would like to hear the ARC statement now.
Absolutely. Misha's interview showed a true concern for students and the way our system impacts them. She is more than qualified to be appointed to this role, and we hope that her genuine passion for serving students and improving others' lives is brought to CRC. With a vote of 3-0 to 0, ARC recommends Misha to the Campus Retention Committee.
Thank you so much, ARC. Any other comments before I call for a final vote for this appointment? Seeing none, I would like a final vote for this appointment.
I motion to appoint Misha Rozetji to the Campus Retention Committee for the 2026 to 2027 academic year.
Gabby motion's gonna have a second.
I second.
Gabby motions, Pernilla seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With a 10-0 vote, Misa Raziji is appointed to the Campus Retention Committee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Congratulations, Misha. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you very much. You as well.
Well, congratulations, guys. We just did a long day of appointments. I wanted to ask before we start, are folks okay with keeping officer reports to standing report to the regular standing reports in the bylaws? Or do people have updates they would really like to share? Do I hear any objections to keeping to the regular standing for officer reports? Because if none, we're just going to do that. Okay, I hear none. I'll keep mine routine today. All my updates are in there with my administrative updates with my meetings I'm having this week. Gabby?
Yeah, I think you guys saw what I have been doing, which is ARC interviews. Thank you guys so much for #sticking it out. The rest is written. One cool thing I've done is I've been invited to be on the planning committee for the 2026 Latinx Welcome event. Shout out. So keep an eye out for that. But I cede my time.
Excited to hear that. Cecilia.
Yay, congrats, Gabby. That's really exciting. On my end, we have our SOS delegation set up, and so orientation will be tomorrow. And then we also had our UCSA board meeting for July. So meeting with the other campus EVPs or AVPs, and then talking about initiatives for the coming year. And so that will also be continued at SOS. And the rest is written.
Thank you, Angela.
Hello, y'all. I hope you can hear me. My report will be written for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Orlando. Oh, wait, sorry. Gabby, did you want to do your second resolution report? Or
no, not yet. Thank you.
Not yet. Okay, do you think you'll be able to have it ready by the next meeting? Sounds good. Okay, Orlando.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I do not have any update.
Thank you, Lorelai.
Hi, everyone. Congrats on sticking it through so many appointments today. Really proud of each of you. Updates from me. Currently, I'm waiting on Module 1 and 2 completion from Prez, International Student Rep, and SWC. I'm in communication with all of you, so just continue to communicate with me as we could, I know that Jeannie Lee has been kind of iffy. So just continue that communication with me so we can get that done as soon as possible so it doesn't affect any of your stipends. In addition to that, for everyone, module set 3, which is all about SGA and requisitions and how you're going to be accessing your budgets, which you should be, hearing from SGA if you haven't already regarding like your budgets for commissions and referendum offices. So that's really important to, have an awareness of. That's going to be due on the 3rd of August. I'm going to continue to send reminders about that, but with that, if that is not completed, SGA will not be able to assist you further with accounting purposes because they need to know that you have that base knowledge, so that way we can, communicate effectively. And then in addition to that, I'm going to be out this Friday and coming Monday. So if you have any questions for me, I'll be back in the office on Tuesday. You can feel free to email me, but I won't get back until Tuesday. If anything else you need, could be, extended to Jonathan. He'll be in the office, and loop me in as needed. But other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you, Lori.
Hi, just two things. One, a reminder, if you haven't flipped yourself to a signatory and need to know how, contact Orlando or your sole advisor, because I've already run into some people haven't been flipped to signatories for reservations. Also, I know Jaya is going this weekend to networking at Leadership Academy. If you are not going and you want me to talk about any positions you're hiring for or appointments, please Slack me any documents. I'm happy to talk about that all weekend because, as you know, Jaya will not be able to cover everything in the networking portion of Leadership Academy, but I am there for the whole weekend and can spread the word. And this is a transfer session, so
exciting. So excited. Thank you, Lori, for that
yeah,
support.
you're welcome.
All right, Jonathan.
Hi, hello, all. A few things from me this week. I sent out a calendar invite to everyone for the 23rd of September from 11 to 1 for the annual Student Government Open House. This is an event that Student Union Programs collaborates with us on and graciously will provide like the foods and some staffing support and all that kind of jazz. And this is both undergrad and grad. So we will open up Kirkhoff. We'll have activities and food and snacks and all that kind of good stuff, and an opportunity for you all to meet the students. We would like and need at least one person from your office to be in your office during that time, preferably you. If there is an issue with that, please reach out to me as soon as possible. Let's see. SGA did send budget sheets over to referendum offices. Those are due as soon as possible. The fiscal year opens technically on the 27th of this month, and SGA will not be able to process any recs for you if you're one of those offices until they have that sheet back so they can upload that into the budget and then get you all of your account numbers for the year. So the sooner you put that in, the sooner you'll be able to access your funds. With that, the fiscal year is opening next week. This is the last week of the fiscal year. And we will not see you until start again. Like Lorelai said, please make sure to do your module 3 so that you can start accessing your monies. I put this in Slack, but since Pranaya is now one of you all, and SGS is sad to have lost her, we are hiring for a new USAC administrative assistant. So if you weren't aware, USAC the committee is made up of you all, the council members, and then one hourly student staff that is under us. So that position should be open now on the ASUC website. I see Lorelai's got her hand raised.
Hi. So sorry, forgot one other thing. I emailed yesterday and also put it in the Slack yesterday. But if you have any feedback for student affair IT forms that you use, ARC, that's you, and anyone who has a funding body or has experience with funding bodies, especially the CS Mini and USA BOD applications that are hosted through my UCLA, basically anything that's through my UCLA. If you have any feedback on issues you've experienced or things that you think work well, campus is doing a whole IT audit, which includes you guys and how it affects you. So please access that by tomorrow at 10 a.m. if you want your feedback to be included as we communicate with Student Affairs IT. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Finishing off for me, yeah, so the OSAC role is, I think I've said it, it's on the ACC website. We'll be hiring for that over the summer. Position can start during the summer or start at the beginning of fall, but we like to get it hired so we have someone ready for fall. I sent an email maybe a couple weeks ago at this point about WEPA credits. So as part of your budget, you all approved a line item, excuse me, for each of you all to have printing credits that you can assign to either one or two people within your office. So I sent out that form to collect who you would like to be those people. That is due at the end of the month. And after that, I will submit that over and get those loaded to your Bruin card. If you don't submit, this isn't money that's like coming out of your individual office budget. This is a separate pile of money that you all allocated in your budget. So you'll just be leaving the money on the table essentially if you don't submit. Lastly, is funding body guidelines. We met with Seoul recently, and we're trying to get all of the dates and guidelines ready prior to the academic year start. And every single funding body needs to renew their guidelines every single year before they can open any applications or do any funding. So if you are one of those offices that has funding under you, please send a copy of your updated guidelines to Lorelei for her review and feedback. And then eventually it will come here to council for your review and feedback. If you have any questions on that, let us know. Otherwise, have a good week. Night. Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan. Looks like we have no old business today. So now moving on to new business, letter of support AB 2212, the higher education response here, Survivors Act with Pranea.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I know today was a very productive meeting, to say the least, so I'm going to proceed with more of an overview rather than reading the whole letter. AB 2212, or the Here Survivors Act, is a bill sponsored by Survivors and Allies, which is a student-led organization that advocates for and with survivors of sexual violence across. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay, sorry. I saw like a thing chat come up and I was like, did I do something wrong? Shoot, shout out Jonathan. Everyone submit your stuff for HR review. Okay, resuming. But Survivors and Allies is a student-led org that advocates for and with survivors of sexual violence across California's higher education institutions. So that's the UCs, CSUs, and community colleges. And this bill essentially pulls from existing state and federal law to explicitly address AI-generated deepfakes, sharing of non-consensual intimate images on college campuses, and other forms of technology-facilitated sexual violence. By making this necessary update, the bill ensures that survivors know how to define their experience and how to access resources related to survivorship, including mental health and legal resources. I'm bringing forward this letter today specifically for a number of reasons. One, obviously with generative AI advancing rapidly, both in accessibility and ability, this threat is only becoming more and more imminent and relevant for students that we serve. Further, students from our own campus have been advocating for this bill from the moment it was authored. I think it originated from our campus, and many students have been sharing their testimonies as it's been moving through Senate. So this bill is obviously very important to our student body, and it would directly affect how our students navigate survivorship and how our institution supports them in the process. My main point here is this bill will be heard in appropriations in early August, so in a few weeks. or 2 weeks rather. And we're hoping that by expressing USAC's strong support, as vocally as we can help advance this very important legislation through Senate. I'm also hoping in the future that as a council, we can put pressure, or rather gently encourage UCLA administration to take the initiative and update our mandated sexual harassment trainings to include this updated information, ensuring that our students are very well informed and supportive if they ever do, unfortunately, experience this kind of violence on campus. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to make any changes, comments, whatnot.
Thank
Yeah,
you
happy
so
to
much.
oblige.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. It was a great letter. Only thing I had to add is just updating the date when you submit it to, I assume, LegCon. Or
Yes.
okay, amazing, awesome. Yeah, but I think everything's a letter, just updating the date whenever you submit it, because I know you wrote it last week. But it looks great. I have no thoughts. Does anyone have any other thoughts? Just please keep up updated after the approach hearing in early August. Love to hear back how other things we can support, and make sure just keeping Cecilia tapped in with UCSA Ledge partners, because she works with them pretty closely. Yes, Gabby.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, just going over the letter, I think it's incredibly important that we as representatives of students are able to recognize when there's a need to update a policy. Because I think when people maybe draft policies, years and years ago before maybe even the internet, you don't anticipate artificial intelligence being brought into it and then being used in a really malicious manner. And then suddenly you have these policies that just mismatch what people are going through and what their lived experiences are. So, like, I'm really glad that Pranaya brought this up, because me personally, like, I didn't start thinking about it until my personal friends have been victimized by these misappropriate, like, uses of AI. So I just heavily encourage everyone here to promote this, and maybe take time to read it and promote it on your own accounts and such, because it's an incredibly important issue that I think we need to think more about as elected officials.
Really great. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Those comments. Any other comments before I ask for a vote for this letter? Seeing none, I'd like a vote for this letter, please.
Yes, I would like to motion to approve a letter in support of AB 2212, the Higher Education AI Response Here Survivors Act.
Gabby motions. Who seconded?
Me, Cecilia.
Okay, Gabby motions, Cecilia seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? With the 12-0 vote, the letter in support of AB 2212, the Higher Education AI Response Here Survivors Act, is passed and approved. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone has a great night. We are now adjourning the July 21st, 2026 meeting today at 8:50 p.m. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night. Congrats on getting Long's appointments. Be prepared for next week. We also have a significant amount of appointments. Good night, everyone.
Everyone.